Welcome to this short and sweet wake up Qigong for spring. When we are in spring, it's all about the wood element. There are a number of different elements that we follow in Qigong and Taoism, and this is the fifth element. And essentially, wood is all about flexibility and yet inner strength, the ability to steady and smooth the rising energy of springtime. And so let's just do some practice to really enhance not only our awareness of our energy flow throughout our body, but help balance the energy flow itself. So we have good motivation, great sense of clear-sightedness, and yet also we're not going to lose our SH, whatever, with people. So it's about getting that wonderful balance of enough motivation, but then also that grounded quality so that we have a good sense of perspective and can respond appropriately. So let's just rub into the palms of the hands. We're just going to tap along the meridians, wake up the body. So starting with the feet comfortably hip width, I'd like you to soften your ankles. Feel the soles of the feet on the mat. You can lift and spread the toes. Soften the knees, soften the hips. Let go of holding on in the pelvis. And then we're just going to start exactly where my microphone is, but over on this left side, underneath the collarbone. So tapping here with a soft fist. I'm not going to tap because it'll just tap into the mic. And then continue down the arm in line with the thumb. So this is just a general meridian kind of revitalizing practice. And then we're going to come at the back of the index finger to the V of where the index finger joins the thumb, to the V of the elbow, and then up onto the V of the shoulder. And you can just come to that where the muscle is the highest and just give that a good rub and a squeeze. And this is a gallbladder point, shoulder well. And this helps ground our energy. So if you've been feeling quite stressed, just rubbing into the tops of the shoulders. You know, we all know it instinctively when someone comes up and does that, as long as it's a person that we know and trust and feels comfortable and it's appropriate, then it's like the weight of the world can just drop off. Lovely. Let's do the other side now. So making sure that the knees stay soft. You can breathe in a comfortable, spontaneous, natural way. Tapping up the back of the arm and then onto the shoulder. And let's just find and rub into that shoulder well point, gallbladder 14. No, gallbladder 21. Thank you. Lovely. Now let's just paddle up the belly. These are the meridians that we work a lot more with in late summer, harvest time. Think about nourishment. And then join onto the meridians for springtime. So just here towards the back of your bum, as it were, you know, behind the head of the femur, the thigh bone. Great point here called jumping circle. Excellent for relieving sciatica if it's owing to a tight piriformis muscle, that muscle inside the hip. Now we're just going to come down the outer edges of the legs, down to the top of the foot. You can rub the top of the foot and just give that fourth toe a little squeeze. Really bend the knees, draw your tummy up towards the spine, you know, so you're not hurting yourself. And then let's just rub up the meridian for the liver. So inside the big toenail, coming up the insides of the shins, you can rub briskly or you can tap. Tap just the crook of the knee, tap up the insides of the thighs, coming up onto the torso and gently tapping, and actually you can get really sensitive and tickly here. So we're just coming up here to the ribs, between the 6th and 7th ribs, as it were. We've got gallbladder and liver points that are excellent for just balancing that energy. So if you're a little bit manic, you can rub into here, nice big breath in, welcoming in the essence of spring. Nice long breath out, imagine the energy flowing all the way down the legs, out through the soles of the feet, creating roots into the earth. Wonderful. So now let's just tap the meridians for, or the beginning of the gallbladder meridian, when I can get the words out. So just gently rubbing into the outer orbit of the eye. This is the beginning of the gallbladder meridian. And then we're just going to run the hands round the back of the ears, through the hair to the base of the skull. Give that a good rub. Come up and over to the center of each eyebrow. Gentle rub here, and then all the way back round to the base of the skull again. I like to use the heel of the thumb. I don't know if it feels like the heel of the thumb, just the base of that first joint here, just to really get in and around the base of the skull. It's behind the ear. There's a wee horny bit, a wee cornice bit. No, behind there and then rub along towards the big muscle. Lovely. Come round the edge of the chest to these tickly bits again, knuckles here, out to the edge of the rib. So we've got our 12th floating rib. This is gallbladder 25. Really good at helping connect with the kidneys. And the kidneys are the battery packs of the body. So if you've been overdoing it, then just mindfully working into here, breathing. Any postures like forward folds, child's pose, any forward folds are really deeply restorative. And then coming in front of the hip bones, and let's join the meridians or the part of the meridian that we did earlier. So behind the femur, jumping circle, down the outsides of the legs, down in front of the ankle bone, fourth toe, squeeze. Lovely. Let's come back up the liver, inside the big toenail, upside, inside the shins, just into the crease or the crook of the knee, up the thighs, and then back up onto the torso. So let's just defrag. Feet comfortably hip width, soft in the ankles, knees and hips. And I want you to relax the arms and just start to turn the torso. So it's like one of those little drums that have arms and you can just twiddle it like that and the arms through the force of just turning the central spindle start to bang the drum. Bing, 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 bing. So this is essentially it. And then we can just use the hands to tap into that gallbladder 25. You can gently tap into the kidneys at the back if you've been feeling a little bit lacking in motivation or more like run down. You know, you need to just breathe and bring a bit more energy into the body. Lovely. You can take the hands higher, tap underneath the collarbones, the lung points that we started with. If you've been, a little bit congested or you've had a lot of stress, possibly even grief. Great point here. You can tap, not brilliantly on this left side because of the mic, but you get the gist. And then you can even just tap or rub onto the top here. Lovely. So let's just take the feet nice and wide, stretching out the insides of the legs, scooping the hands up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale and exhale. So we're just going to turn over that left leg and draw the hands down towards that fourth toe. And then inhale, draw up the inside of the liver meridian. Exhale, back to center. So great one for both gallbladder. Exhale down the lower half of the gallbladder meridian and then inhale up the first half of the liver meridian. Fantastic for centering, as well as just gently warming up and getting a good stretch into the legs and into the glutes and hips. Lovely. So exhale as you're going down, inhale as you come back up. Wonderful. Let's just stretch through the sides of the body. And I want you to choose a point to look at and look softly as if you're looking from the back of the head. So allow the eyes to soften. The sight is the key sense in springtime. Nice big breath in as you stretch. And then as you exhale, tighten an imaginary belt around the waist. Lovely. We'll do one more. So choose where it feels good to focus the gaze and then softly look from the back of the head. Allow the eyes a little bit of rest and then come all the way back. And we're just going to finish with a very simple gallbladder stretch. So option one, just crossing over with the left leg. We can step the feet a little bit closer and just, heel lifted, bend the knees. Stretch one way as you breathe in, looking down. Exhale, stretch the other way. So this is just a really simple. You can use this stretch anytime, if you're going to go for a run, if you've been for a run, any workout, but know that it really helps focus and stretch out that gallbladder meridian that helps us get results, get our work done. Now, let's come into a more Qigong sequence for the gallbladder. So we're going to come, interlace the hands and then lead with that left leg forward. Bring the weight into the left leg, reach forward with the palms as if you're reaching onto a little shelf, pressing down. So then all the weight's forward so you can then rest on the top of that back leg. From here, rise up. Big stretch, navel hugging back as you turn to look round and down. Keep the weight in the front leg, keep the front leg soft. Inhale, facing forwards, and then exhale, we're just going to come back and do the same on the other side. So we start rooted, grounded, and then from here, transfer the weight into the front leg, lean forward, press down. And it's very, very easy once the weight's forward to come onto that back toe. If it feels challenging, you can just stay with the toes tucked. If we rest on the toe, then it's that fourth toe
all the way down. So we're stretching the left side of the meridian on this side. A couple of slow, focused breaths. And then facing forward and come back to center. If you wish to finish off, we'll just come all the way back. Stretch out through the liver channel. Nice big stretch one way. Exhale to center, other way. Nice and steady, moving with intention, moving strong, rooted, heartward movements, but also developing a sense of sepward. I can't wait to share more Qigong inspired flows with you that really help keep us grounded and anchored as we navigate the choppy waters of springtime together.